So we were discussing about the stress strain curve of the concrete. Now we have to discuss some properties of the concrete also, which is also important in design of reinforced concrete structures. And we are going to start with, or we are going to discuss about the creep of the concrete. Creep of concrete. We have to deal with the creep of the concrete in the coming sessions. So I am going to discuss it clearly here. What is mean by creep of the concrete? You can write it. It is the property of the concrete. It is the property of concrete due to which inelastic or permanent deformations occur under sustained loads. Remember something, some points are important here. It is the property of the concrete due to which inelastic or permanent deformation occur in concrete under sustained loads. So to understand this creep in the concrete, I have to discuss about two things. First one is called our elastic deformation. Second one, what is inelastic deformation? Elastic deformation and what is inelastic deformation. So, you know what is elastic deformation? I think we already know this. Suppose this is a member. I think you can see a member here. This is a member. And I am going to apply one load here. When I apply the load, immediately after the application of the load, it will go like this, right? There will be some deformations. Correct? Na? There will be some deformations. I am applying the load and there will be some deformations. On the removal of the load, if the deformation is vanishing, see, when I applied the load, it was the case here. When I applied the load, it deformed like this. And on the removal of the load, if it is deforming or if the deformation is vanishing, I can call it as a elastic deformation. Otherwise, if I draw the figure, you can understand. Suppose I have a member like this. When I applied the load, what is happening? Now, due to the application of the load, this portion came here. Then I am going to call it as delta. And on the removal of the load, it will come back to the original state. We can call it as elastic deformation. Right now, the deformation is vanishing on the removal of the load. I applied the load, it will come here. On the removal of the load, it will go back to original, that initial position. It is called elastic deformation. Coming to this inelastic deformation, when we suppose we applied the load, due to this load, there will be this elastic deformation will be there in this material. Due to this, there will be some elastic deformation will be there in the material. And if I keep that load there for a very, very, very long time, if I keep the load here, I am keeping the load at the same position. If I apply the load here, this is the material, I applied the load, there will be some deformation. Instantaneously, there will be some deformation. If I remove the load, it will come back, right? I have applied the load, there will be some instantaneous deformation. If I keep the load here for a very long time, that is sustained loading, and then there will be deformation. This deformation will keep on increasing. So I am explaining this with this figure. I have applied the load. This delta is the elastic deformation. If I remove this, it will come back to the initial state. If I keep this load here for a very long time, further deformation will be here in this member. Deformation will be there. It will be going down. And on the removal of the load, it will not come back to the initial stage. On the removal of the load, suppose it has bounced back to this stage. This much portion, we cannot recover it, which is called our inelastic deformation. This much is not regained. This much deformation is not regained. Only the elastic deformation has regained and some part of the deformation is also regained. Getting this? This is called inelastic deformation. This is called elastic deformation. You can just remember like this. When on the application of the load, deformation is there. On the removal of the load, deformation is vanishing. It is elastic deformation. On the application of the load, deformation is there. If you remove the load, if the deformation is not vanishing, it is inelastic deformation. Coming to this creep of the concrete. It is a property of the concrete, just like I said. If I take a concrete mass like this, if I take a concrete mass, and on the application of the load, there will be some deformation. I am talking about to take it as delta. Suppose if I take a rectangular piece like this, or rectangular member like this, this is a member, and I am applying the load, of course there will be some deformation, there will be some deformation, that is called elastic deformation. Some elastic deformation will be there in the concrete. And if I keep this concrete for a very long time, deformation will keep on increasing with time. With time, deformation is going to increase like this. It will go come down. Eventually it will come down. It will slowly deformation will keep on increasing. If I remove the load, this elastic deformation will be recovered. But some part of this deformation will not be recovered. That deformation will become permanent in the structure. If I keep this load for a very long time, the deformation will keep on increasing. Slowly it will increase. But on the removal of the load, elastic deformation will be recovered. This much portion will not be recovered. Right now, this many portion will not be recovered. That permanent deformation occurred in the concrete. That permanent deformation occurred in the concrete due to these sustained loads are called creep in the concrete. Actually, a deformation occurring in the concrete due to the placement of loads for a very long time. Getting this? Is it clear? It is occurring due to the placement of a load, that is permanent load or sustained load, for a very long time in the concrete. Getting this? Due to the placement of a load which is placed for a very long time. Is it clear? Yes, I think it's clear, right? Yes. So this is actually the meaning of creep. Inelastic means which cannot be regained. A part of that deformation can be regained, but which cannot be fully regained. We cannot do that. Right now. Then sustained load means, what is the meaning of sustained loads? That is permanent loads. We are keeping that load for a very long time. That is the permanent load. Tell me, what is the permanent load acting in a structure? We have discussed about various type of loads. What is the permanent load? For a structure, what is the permanent load? Yes, exactly. Dead load acting in the structure. Exactly, you people are right. Self-weight of the structure or dead load of the structure is the permanent load. Otherwise, if there is a live load which is not movable, or we can say permanent live load, it is also an example for a permanent load. I mean, that live load is actually not moving there. It is just sitting, staying there. It is also considered as a sustained load. When the concrete is subject to this permanent load for a very long time, there will be deformation in it. That deformation is defined as, termed as creep of concrete. Right? Understanding this? Are you getting this? Yes. Please note it down. Satish, don't forget about those figures. Just understand it. That's it. Forget about the figures. Just understand. That's enough. You can denote it with delta C, delta I, delta P, whatever you want. No issues. Okay. Understand this. That's enough. That's more than enough. We are not interested in this definition also. But you have to remember this. It is a property of the concrete. Inelastic or permanent deformation will be occurring. We know what is permanent deformation. If the deformation is not regaining, it is called our permanent deformation, and it is occurring due to sustained loads. That means when a load is placed on the structure for a very long time, that is called our sustained loads. Sustained load or permanent load in a structure is dead load in the structure. Right? If you want further information, I'll give you more information on this. If you want to plot the total strain versus time graph, if you plot a curve with total strain and time versus time, see, I am taking this example. I have applied the load. Immediately after the application of the load, there will be some deformation. there will be some deformation, there will be some strain. And if I keep the load for a very, very long time, the strain will keep on increasing slowly with the time. With time it will increase. On the removal of the load, some part of it will be regained. That's what is going to happen in this concrete structure, right? When a concrete block is there, when I apply the load, immediately there will be some deformation. And as when I keep the load there for a long time, the deformation will keep on increasing with the time. On the removal of the load, some part of it will be regained, right? So I'm trying to establish a relationship between this total strain occurring in the concrete versus time. See, I'm going to take total strain in y axis. This is total strain in y axis. This in x axis I am going to consider time, right? Immediately after the application of the load, which strain will occur in the structure in concrete? Here, which strain occurred? Immediately after the application of the load, which strain occurred here? Immediately after the application of the load, which strain occurred here? Is it elastic or inelastic? Immediately after the application of the load, what kind of strain occurred? Yes, elastic strain occurred in the structure. Tell me, is it depending on time or not? I have applied the load, immediately after the application of the load, strain has occurred. It depends on time or not? No, it is not depending upon the time. Exactly, you people are right. Superb. So, when I apply the load, immediately after the application of the load, there will be some strain. That is called our elastic strain. Elastic strain will be there. I have applied the load, immediately after the application of the load, there will be some strain. That is called elastic strain. And when I keep the load there for a very long time, elastic strain has occurred. When I keep the load there for a very long time, the strain will keep on increasing like this, right? So strain will keep on increasing. It depends upon the time. When I keep the load here for a very long time, the strain will keep on increasing. So with time, strain is going to increase. With time, strain is going to increase. So strain is going to be increased like this. Strain is going to be increased like this. At this point, I release the load. If I release the load, what will happen? Yes, the deformation will be regained, right? Some part of the deformation will be regained. This elastic deformation, the elastic strain will be deformed, right now. So that I have regained the elastic strain here. Or we can say recovery of elastic strain. There will be some recovery of elastic strain, and some part of the plastic deformation, some part of this, that permanent deformation, that some part of that will also be regained. See, elastic deformation is there. When I keep the load for a very long time, it will keep on increasing, no? When on the removal of the load, this elastic deformation will be regained, and some part of this deformation, this will also be regained. Some part, that will also happen with respect to with our time. Some part of the deformation will be regained. So this much portion will be regained. This is called I'm going to call it as creep recovery. Or some part of the deformation is regained. Right now, so I told you this is our time now. This is elastic strain. This is called elastic strain. Suppose I am taking a time here. At a time t, what is elastic strain? This much is already our elastic strain. I am going to denote it as ES. What is this? From here to here. What is this? Please tell me what is this? The strain value from here to here. What is this? At a time t, what is the strain here? What is the strain here at a point t? What is the strain here? This much is elastic strain. What is the strain here? Exactly, inelastic, or I am going to call it as creep strain. I am going to call it as creep strain. Creep strain. I am going to call it as creep strain. The total will be elastic plus inelastic strain. This inelastic strain occurred in the structure at this time is called our creep strain, which is called as creep strain. Right? This is called our creep strain. This ultimate value, this maximum strain value, which will be coming somewhere here. At this point, I have unloaded it. If I keep the load there for a very long time, there is a maximum strain value for concrete. This maximum strain value here, I am going to call it as ultimate strain or ultimate creep strain. The maximum strain value here I am going to call it as ultimate creep strain. The maximum strain value here I am going to call it as ultimate creep strain. I will explain again. Whenever concrete is subjected to some load, there will be some elastic deformation. Small elastic deformation will be there. That does not depend upon time. That strain will happen immediately after the application of the load, or instantaneously it will happen. And after that, if I keep the load there for a very long time, with respect to time or with the time, the strain will increase. And if I unload the concrete, if I remove the load from there, this much portion, that is elastic recovery, will be there. This much strain will be recovered. Then some part of that inelastic deformation will also be recovered. That recovery depends upon the time. With respect to time or with the time, some part of it will also be recovered. That recovery is called creep recovery. That inelastic recovery will be there. This is elastic recovery. Some inelastic recovery will also be there. Right now. So after this, if I consider time here, this is elastic strain and this much portion is called inelastic strain or creep strain. And when I asked you elastic strain, is it depending upon time or not? Elastic strain, will it depend upon time or not? It will not depend upon time. This elastic strain will not depend upon time. Yes, everyone is correct. Yes, very good. Srikanth, Chandresh, Anindita, Angit. Yes, superb. Coming to creep strain. Is it depending upon time or not? Creep strain, is it depending upon time? Creep strain is depending upon time. Exactly, it depends upon time. Creep strain depends upon time. Elastic strain does not depend upon time. See what you are having here? Total strain in the concrete. Total strain in the concrete is actually the sum of elastic strain and creep strain. Can I say like this? Total strain is a sum of elastic strain and creep strain. Elastic strain does not depend upon time. The creep strain depends upon time. Or I am going to call creep strain like this. The time dependent, sorry for the spelling. I think it is not correct. Dependent component. I think it's T, right? Right. Dependent component. The time dependent component of total strain is called creep strain. Time dependent component of total strain is called creep strain in the structure. Can I say like this? I can say like this, right? This is total strain, which is a combination of elastic strain and creep strain. Elastic strain does not depend upon time, but creep strain depends upon time. Creep strain depends upon time. So we can call it as the time dependent component of total strain is called creep strain. Right? Yes, please note it down. Right. So shall I remove this? I think I can, right? Yes. Now I would like to discuss about one more thing. What are the factors in which creep depends upon, or what are the factors affecting the creep in the concrete? See, if you talk about the creep of the concrete, the creep will increases, or creep in concrete will increase with cement content, which means that if the cement content is more, creep in the concrete will be more. And it depends upon water cement ratio. If the water cement ratio is more, creep will be more. It depends upon temperature. If the temperature is more, creep will be more. And it depends upon initial loading, or loading at the initial stage. It will occur when the loading is given initial stage of the concrete. Before concrete attains its complete strength, if you are applying the load, there is more possibility of getting creep. Initial stage. Loading is given in initial stage. And finally, humidity of the structure. Humidity of the environment. Humidity. If the humidity is less, then creep will be more. Humidity is less means environment is dry. If the environment is dry or the surrounding is dry, the creep will be more in concrete. One more thing is there, aggregate content. If the aggregate content is less, creep will be more. You can remember this. The important thing is water cement ratio. Important thing is water cement ratio and humidity, initial stage and temperature. Right, when the water cement ratio is more, there will be more creep, or creep will be more. You have to remember this. You have to remember these factors affecting the creep in the concrete. Tell me when it is finished. After writing this, tell me. You can just go through this. Okay, there is no need of giving more explanation on this. Done. Fine. Rudraj, loading in the initial stage in concrete. What happened, Rudraj? If you have any doubts, you can post it again. I am not getting your doubt actually. Right. Next one I would like to discuss is shrinkage in concrete. Shrinkage in concrete. So what is this shrinkage in concrete? You already know. What is the meaning of shrinkage? If this is something, this is a material, and the volume of this is reducing. If the volume of this is reducing, or if it is shrinking, I can call it as shrinkage. Now, that's the meaning of this. Similarly, in concrete also is exactly, Ramesh is correct. The meaning of shrinkage means the volume is reducing. The volume is decreasing. Right now, that is shrinking is there. That's the meaning of that. Right? So the volume reduction in concrete, you can write it, volume reduction in concrete due to loss of moisture from it is called shrinkage in concrete. Is called shrinkage in concrete. That volume reduction in concrete due to moisture, loss of moisture from it, from the concrete is called our shrinkage in concrete. Tell me, will it depend upon time or what? Shrinkage, will it depends upon time or what? Creep was depending upon time. Will shrinkage depending upon time? Exactly. Shrinkage will also depend upon time. Shrinkage will also depend upon time. See, there are two types of shrinkages. Shrinkage is of two types. First one is called drying shrinkage. Drying shrinkage. And second one is called chemical shrinkage. Drying shrinkage and chemical shrinkage. See, when the concrete is hardened, after the concrete gets hardened, there will be some water present in between the pores in the concrete. Na? So concrete will have some pores, right? Pores means some voids will be there. There will be some water there, that is that we can say capillary water. So this drying shrinkage will occur due to the loss of capillary water. Only one P is there, right? Capillary water present in the pores. Present in pores of the concrete. So it is occurring due to the loss of moisture or loss of the capillary water present in the pores of the concrete. As it will happen with the time. As the time goes, if the temperature is high or with the temperature, the moisture will get evaporated. Right now, due to the evaporation of this moisture, due to the loss of this moisture, so the volume of the concrete is going to get reduced. When the volume of the concrete is getting reduced, what is the possibility of failure there? When the volume is reducing, when the volume is getting reduced, there is a possibility of crack, or crack formation will be there in the concrete, which is objectionable. We cannot allow that. When we cannot allow shrinkage cracks in the concrete. See, some amount of shrinkage cracks is possible, but we have to think about the shrinkage cracks when we design the concrete structures. Right now. So, and one more thing is there, chemical shrinkage, which will occur due to the hydration of cement. You already know due to what is hydration of cement. Hydration of cement is actually a chemical process with cement and water. It's a exothermic reaction. Due to this reaction, the heat will be evolved. Due to heat, water will be evaporated, and the volume of concrete will get reduced. That's called that's our chemical shrinkage. And due to the shrinkage, cracks will be formed in concrete. Cracks will be formed in concrete, which is objectionable, which we don't want to allow in concrete, which we don't want in our concrete, right? And our IS code suggests that, or our IS code is suggesting that we cannot completely avoid this shrinkage of concrete, so that our IS code suggests that this is important. our IS code suggests that the maximum shrinkage strain allowed in concrete is 0.0003 or we can say 0.03%. The maximum shrinkage strain allowed in concrete, or as per IS 456/2000, the maximum shrinkage strain which can be allowed in concrete is around 0.0003. 3 zeros are there. Okay, you can remember like this: 3 zeros and a 3. 3 zeros and a 3. This is a very common question in many of the competitive exams. Even if you are writing any PSC exams also, this question is very important. There the options will be 0.03, 0.003, 0.0003. There will be one more option, 0.002. Answer will be 0.0003. The maximum shrinkage strain that is allowed in concrete is around 0.0003. Remember this, one of the most important question from this topic. Right, Rituraj is asking, sir, how to minimize this or avoid it? See, if I want to answer that question, I have to explain the factors affecting this shrinkage. See, many factors are there affecting the shrinkage, just like water cement ratio is there, or time is there, and environmental factors will also be there. And like this. See, if the water cement ratio is more, if the water cement ratio is more, the rate of shrinkage will also be more. Rate of shrinkage will be more. And when as the time increases, this rate of shrinkage will be less. As the time increases, with the time, the rate of shrinkage will become not the shrinkage, rate of shrinkage. Okay, that understand that term. Rate of shrinkage will become less. And environmental factors, just like temperature and humidity. If the temperature is more, think about the shrinkage. Shrinkage will be more or less? Shrinkage will be more. When the temperature is more, shrinkage will be more. Talk about the humidity. If the humidity is more, shrinkage will be more or less? If the humidity is more, shrinkage will be less. If the humidity is less, shrinkage will be more. If the environment is, what is humidity? If the environment is humid, then the shrinkage will be, the rate of shrinkage will be less. If it is a dry environment, humidity is more means it's a wet environment, right? If humidity is less means it's a dry environment. If the environment is dry, the shrinkage will be more. Right now, if humidity is less, it is a dry environment, shrinkage will be more. So that's the environmental factors. And one more thing is there, these things are not in our control, right? This time and environment, these things are not in our control. We can control this water cement ratio. We can reduce this water cement ratio without affecting the strength and workability. If we control this water cement ratio, we can control the shrinkage in the concrete. And one more thing is there, admixtures. We discussed what is admixtures. These are the chemical substances added to the concrete to affect the properties of the concrete, like workability, strength of the concrete, setting time, etc. If we use some accelerators like sodium chloride, if we use some accelerators like this, then there is a possibility of shrinkage. Rate of shrinkage will be more if we use some accelerators from admixtures. So avoid the use of those kind of accelerators. Try to avoid them. Then the rate of shrinkage will be less. Right now. So time of casting increases, shrinkage. Time of casting. I'm not getting what is the time of casting. Tell me that first. What is time of casting? That is time required for mixing the concrete, time required for mixing the concrete and placing the concrete, compacting the concrete. I'm not getting you actually. You can reframe the sentence 1 second, please. I'll answer that question. Okay. Yeah, after mixing, time of casting. See, once the concrete is placed, the water starts evaporating from the concrete due to these factors. So shrinkage will be there. And depends upon mainly on these factors. If the water cement ratio is more, rate of shrinkage will be more. It does not depend upon the time of casting, I guess. Can it be maintained along with an accelerator? Yes. We can use certain chemicals for controlling shrinkage. Yes. Right now. So most important point here is maximum shrinkage strain allowed in the concrete. That is 0.0003. Okay. And you can note these things down and you can tell me when it is finished. Please note it down. Okay, fine. You people are understanding these concepts, right? In this lecture actually we have discussed about the characteristic strength, design strength, partial safety factor for material, limit state of collapse, so it is 1.5 and 1.15. For limit state of serviceability it is 1, and after that we discussed about the cube strength test, acceptance criteria. We discussed about these factors like what is creep, what is shrinkage. Any doubts in this? Are you getting these concepts? I want to know.